Hello, everybody. Once again, I'm Liam Crafton Jr., aka Zorvalchan Less Than Guru, and today we're going to go back and look at skills in Palladium First Edition. You can use this in any Palladium Megaversal system that you wish, but one of the things that can be very irksome to new players in Palladium is the low percentages that they get at low levels. And while a level 1 or a level 2, say a thief or something like that, you wouldn't expect them to be able to pick a pocket or pick locks of something that's really good. If you look at these percentages, they are quite low. So pick lock, you only have a 12% chance of a success. A pickpocket, you only have 10% of a success. If we go to the actual, say, let's look at the thief as an OCC bonus, we look here, pickpockets, they get a 22% bonus to it and a 5% to the pick locks. So let's say the pick locks was at 5%. If we go back up here to pick locks, 12%, that's still only a 17%. And pick locks, that's still only a 32%. So there's a few things that I would like to say. First, Palladium and other books, they do say don't worry about rolling if it's not an intense, say, combat type or rushed situation. So if you have all day in the world, just allow the character to succeed. And I'm perfectly fine with that. If there's no chance of failure, just let the character succeed. But one of the things that I have introduced, which has been helpful, and I'll show you my chart here, or not chart, but just I give bonuses for time and non-stressful situations. So what I do is for any test that uses a percentile, they get a bonus, a 5% bonus, if they double that time. So say something would take 1 round, and in Palladium First Edition, a round is 1 minute. In other Palladium games, it's 15 seconds. If they double it, if they spend more time on it, I give them a 5% bonus. And why I wrote 5% here is because I take it away from the roll. You're trying to roll under. If you want to add to the skill, you could say plus 5% bonus. Either way works. It's just which side of the roll or the percentile are you adjusting. I also allow this to work for hours. So if you're smithing and you want to take more time making that armor or that weapon, you can add that as well. I allow that to happen to get up to a 20% bonus. So 4 additional times. So basically 5 times what it is. So if you do it normally, it's your normal roll. If you add time and double the time, then you add 5%. If you triple the time, you add 10%. Quadruple the time, you get 15%. And then I max it out at a plus 20 bonus at a quintuple time, a 5 time. I feel that if you start taking more than that, I call it procrastination, and you don't get additional bonuses. But it does give a way for a low-level character to start raising their skills in situations that they want to take extra time. The other thing I do is I give a flat 10% bonus if the situation is not stressful. There is a difference between picking a lock, trying to get through a doorway while the rest of your group is fighting combatants, than if nobody is around, the place that you're trying to pick the lock to has nobody, there's no guards around, and you're calm, it's dark, it's not stressful. So in that, I give a flat 10% bonus. And then I give modifiers for if you're using a tool that would be superior. So if you're improvising your tool, I give a negative of a 10% because you're using that paperclip to try to pick that lock. But with an exceptional tool, if you have, say, a set of lock-picking tools that is, you have a set of lock-picking tools that's really nice, then I give a 10% bonus to it. Also, and we'll talk in a different thing, I have a wounded condition that makes it more difficult. But then if you're moving, if say you're trying to do something and you're in a cart or on a horse, I give a condition for that as well. So think about adjusting and giving bonuses or penalties to your player characters depending on the situation, how much time they're doing. And the other thing is I have situations which can be positive or negative and can be the same situation. So a minor situation, which could be a minor help or a minor hindrance, is going to be a plus or minus 10%. A medium situation, I give a 25, and a major situation is a 50. So, for example, say that you're in a storm and it's rainy and the clouds are dark and etc. That might be considered a medium situation. Now, if you're doing something like trying to sneak, well, the darkness and the rain is going to obscure you. So your prowl, I might give you a bonus, a benefit of a 25%. So either subtract the 25 from your roll or add 25 to your skill percent. But by another means, if you're trying to scale a wall, that water might make things slippery and the thunderstorm and such. So there, I might give a negative, a penalty of that 25%. So the same situation might make it harder or easier depending on the situation. And then just separating it into three categories makes it easier. You say, hey, minor bonus, minor penalty, major bonus, major penalty, and do it that way. So that's one of my tips and tricks for how you can take these percent skills and allow the character to do things better. So in that case of that lock picking, you get that 5% bonus because you're a thief. That's a 17%. But if it's not stressful, that's going to boost it up 10% more. So then that 17 becomes a 27. If you take longer time, you're like, guys, keep them off me, and you decide to take 5 rounds of combat to do it, then you might not get that 10%, but you'll get a 20% bonus to it. And if it's not combat and you're taking your time and you say, hey guys, just watch out and make sure that things are going right, then you have a 30%. So at level 1, you already now have a 47%. You add some good tools that you got, that's an additional 10%. So now you're at 57%, which still is not wonderful, but at first level, it's a lot better than that 17%. So hopefully that's something that you can incorporate. And I do allow stuff to go above the 100% mark because if it's 100% and you don't have modifiers, I do it, I'm that good. But you might have those negative modifiers that come into effect. So then in a snowstorm or you're blind or something like that, then you can reduce that. There's also conditions that I have called off, slightly off, and very off that I'll get to in a different, but those can add to that as well. So another thing that I would add to it, and I'll go over here, and I realized my example, I did not do math correctly. But as I would, instead of having multiple characters roll for the same thing, especially when it would be a group activity, I would have a lead and have other characters able to assist them without needing to roll. And how I've done this is, in this example, even though my math is wrong in this example, is say that you are bedding down for the night, you've made camp, and you want to gather your supplies and make sure that your perimeter is right, your tents are pitched right, if you wanted to get into that detail. But let's say that the main character, the person with the highest wilderness survival skill, has a 45%. And there's 2 other people in the group that also have wilderness survival, and they wish to pitch in and help. So what a lot of games, especially old school games, would have is they would have everybody roll, and then if somebody succeeded, then fine, they succeeded. But you got those weird situations where you have the outdoorsy person, that ranger, that druid who knows everything about wilderness, they fail their 45%, and then that studious wizard who's never set foot outside the city but just has book knowledge on wilderness survival has that 12%, and they roll It's same where you have everybody try to lift a portcullis, and the fighter fails, but the wizard succeeds based off of luck. So instead of doing that, what I do is I take all the percentages of those helpers and I add them together and divide by 5, and then round down. My games, it's just a rule, always round down unless the specific rule states otherwise, and then take that and make it a bonus to it. So if you have another character that has 20 and the third character that has 12 in those wilderness survival, I add that together, that's 32. My example here says 33, but it ends up being the same rounded down. 32 divided by 5 round down is 6, and I give a 6% bonus to that 45. So instead of a 45, they now have a 51% chance, and then they could use that extra time, and they could use the non-stressful situation to even bolster that even better. So it allows the other characters to contribute, but it lessens the dice rolling, and 2, it makes that person shine who it's their character concept. So I'd also give that as a suggestion with how you can use different ways to modify those skill rolls. So hopefully this gave you some information that you'll be able to use in your Palladium First Edition or Palladium games in general. Once again, I'm Lee McCracken Jr., aka Zorwell Chan, Less Than Guru, and until next time, I will catch you later.